You're watching Capital Connection from the Illinois State Capitol.
Welcome back. Now, as we discussed with the Congresswoman, Congress just kicked the can down the road on the Farm Bill, which typically gets passed every 5 years. But this year, when they were supposed to pass a renewal or a new bill, they instead extended the previous one because the two sides, Republicans and Democrats, could not come to an agreement. Joining us now is the Executive Director of Governmental Affairs and Commodities with the Illinois Farm Bureau, Kevin Semlo. Thank you so much for joining us, Kevin.
No problem.
So they decide to just extend this another year, have another year of these negotiations. How does the Farm Bureau feel about this, that they couldn't come to an agreement on something that is typically a very bipartisan piece of legislation?
Well, it's always disappointing. Both the House and Senate Ag Committee spent a lot of time preparing for the sunset of the bill in September. There was lots of things, and then of course everything else kind of came unraveled and put that back. But what's good is that by at least extending the Farm Bill one more year, we don't go off the fiscal cliff of the Farm Bill, just completely collapsing and going back to a 1930s style law. This allows the United States Department of Agriculture and FDA a whole year of continued program, gives some stability to farmers. Not the best situation, but we know that we're hearing, of course, that they're going to look at talking about the Farm Bill and trying to get that passed here in the first quarter when they come back after the holiday break.
So this comes 2 months, or about 2 months since the previous Farm Bill had originally expired. And I wonder, what was that like for that period of time there when it wasn't clear what was going to happen, if there was going to be a new Farm Bill, if there was going to be an extension of the previous one, or if there just wasn't going to be one? And going into the new year, were farmers getting nervous about the prospects of this?
There's always nervousness when they don't extend the Farm Bill on time, but this isn't the first time that they've had to extend the Farm Bill for a period of time. I think that the approach that they took of doing it for a full year gives a lot more stability, like I said, with farmers. There was some nervousness, but in the back of everyone's mind, it was like, we think they might extend it. It was just, how were they going to do it with the complete deadlock and gridlock that we saw in Washington? But with the continuing resolution that they passed and putting this in there, at least brought some calmness for at least a while. There are a lot of changes in the Farm Bill we'd like to see. It's become a great lifeline for farmers to keep risk management under control, conservation programs, and the food SNAP programs out there. So we're just excited that we've got some time now to work on it, and hopefully we can get it right instead of just rushing to put something together.
So for the people that may not be familiar with the Farm Bill, take me through some of the most essential pieces of it. Why is it necessary to have this kind of federal backing, before farmers start putting a crop in the ground or preparing to put that crop in the ground?
Well, the Farm Bill is more than just the Farm Bill. It also provides food assistance to low-income families. The SNAP program is probably more than 80% of the whole budget that is put with this program. So that's a key component of it. Making sure that we have reliable, safe food is always our goal. When it comes to the actual farming programs, you've got conservation programs in there that are put in place to help encourage farmers to make sure that they do practices that don't see soil erosion and runoff and all those things, which are very key to the future of agriculture. And then there's the risk management tools, the crop insurance, and a lot of those tools which help farmers to buy insurance in case there is a catastrophic loss. Also helps adjust for losses due to other things, and it looks at the high input costs and all those types of things. It just brings some stability to farming so that we can keep a safe and reliable food service sources out there.
A lot of those extra programs are not extra programs, but the programs like food assistance and things along those lines are kind of what some of the hangups are around this bill. A lot of Republicans want to see cuts to these particular programs, and that's where a lot of the gridlock is happening. Why are those so crucial to this to farmers in the state?
Well, it's a combined package. As we know, with anything when it comes to passing legislation, it takes give and take by all parties, and we're just optimistic that House Ag Chairman G.T. Thompson and the rest of the members of the Ag Committee can sit down with calm heads and put together a compromise bill that makes everyone happy. As with any legislation, you don't get everyone extremely happy with everything in the bill, but hopefully at the end of the day, we've got a good bill that's put out there that's balanced and brings all parties to the table, and just puts a farm bill out there that moves us through the next 5 years with some adjustments to take into consideration, especially on the farm side. COVID kind of threw a hiccup into the marketing of how things are done, high input costs, and just the ever-growing cost that there is within agriculture. So there just need to be some adjustments with that. But we're hopeful and confident that both sides can come to an agreement and put a bill out there that is a bipartisan bill.
They extended it a year. Right now, the particular moment that Congress is in right now, especially the House of Representatives, a lot of chaos out there in DC. And then on top of this extension will be ending right before a general election. And I wonder, you say you're hopeful, you say you're confident they're going to get this together, but if they haven't been able to come to an agreement in the last year or so of negotiations, why do you feel so confident with everything going on that they're going to be able to put differences aside in Washington and get this kind of middle of the road bill done?
Well, I think there's just a lot of commitment, and there's a lot of understanding of the importance of the Farm Bill. Hopefully we will put some of the partisan politics aside on this issue. Ag is hopefully one of the last bastions of bipartisanship that we can see everyone come together. Will there be amendments filed by both parties trying to get their points across? Of course there will be. We anticipate that there'll be probably over 100 amendments filed to the Farm Bill, which is quite a bit in Washington. And it'll take some time to get through all of that, but everyone will get their voices heard. And hopefully at the end of the day, we're just optimistic that with the importance of this and the promises being made by the new Speaker of the House, that this will be a top priority that they can focus on and keep moving through early next year.
All right, Kevin Semlo, thank you so much for joining us. When we come back, we sit down with Chris Boyster of the Illinois Certification Board to talk about the lack of substance use counselors in the state. We'll be right back.